Are we live? I like that. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode here on the Digital Trade Show podcast. We are live in Orlando, Florida at the Profitable Dentist Conference. And today has been so much fun. I've been spending time with the companies that have sponsored this event and giving them some face time and some audio time as well. So very excited to be with the DentalIntelligence guys. We've got JT and Sam. Welcome to the podcast.
Hey, thank you, John.
Yeah,
Thanks.
absolutely. Thanks for coming on. So in traditional trade show or digital trade show format, love to learn about you guys and a little bit about your story. So I'll, JT, if you want to go ahead and start.
My story, I have a background in finance, and so I was not in the dental world for a long time.
Okay.
I knew Weston Lunsford, our CEO, for quite a while, and
Okay.
I knew he was starting this company as I was raising equity in commercial real estate, going a complete different way. But he kept saying, "You got to come over and look at this company, DentalIntelligence." I'm like, I don't know anything about the dental world.
Right.
But I ended up seeing this company start growing, and I knew what they did, but I didn't know how they were doing it. And so I kind of looked a little bit more into it and found that it's a really good growing company, and it's something I definitely wanted to be a part of.
Yeah. And so now
So I
here you
switched
are.
fields.
They've got you at a trade show event. They got you on camera. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
they got you all over the place, JT.
Yeah, no, it's been a crazy change, but it's been an amazing change.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thanks for coming on the podcast. Sam, what's your story, man?
I'm my dad's a dentist.
Cool.
I've been a trained dental assistant. I've been an office manager. I have a degree in theater and dance.
Okay.
One of 7 kids, and I've got a wife, and I've got 2 baby boys that are 3 and 7 months or 8 months old. And,
All right.
you know, I've been around in the dental industry selling into dentistry for, I guess, the last 5-6 years with a couple different companies
Got
and
it.
whatnot. And
Yep.
crushing it with dental intelligence.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I love it. So one of 7.
One of
right?
7.
Which order?
Smack dab in the middle. 3
I was just
above,
going to
3
ask
below.
who is the middle one.
I'm definitely the, forgotten, lost
Right,
child.
right.
So,
That's unfair. I mean, I'm sure if we asked his parents if he was they'd say, at certain days maybe he's the unforgotten
they
one.
would
but
say I'm
Yeah.
definitely the favorite.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, exactly. All right, so exciting stuff, guys. I mean, there has been a explosion in data-driven focus in dental practices, right? And you guys are firsthand on that. It's been really cool to watch what you're building, and would love to learn a little bit more, just about the company in general, but I think maybe 1 or 2 pieces of information that are really exciting. Some things that you guys are seeing, maybe from each of your vantage points, JT
Yeah.
and then Sam.
Some things that we're seeing that are exciting. One thing that I think that is the most, at least it hits home to me most in my heart, especially is why the company was created. And it really was Weston Lunsford. He was a CPA and he had this company for 15 years, and he saw these doctors and these dentists and saw their numbers for years and years and years, and was kind of wondering why are these guys not doing better in their lives? I mean, they went to dental school and they were doctors and working their brains out and just not still struggling.
Sure.
And so he figured out a way to look at their numbers and kind of see a
Right.
little bit more and have them walk through what was going on in their practices and found some key things that they just didn't understand business like they should.
Sure.
And so one thing that we're seeing is when they start seeing data or analytics in their practice for the first time, a lot of them, it changes their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's one thing that we get a kick out of. And anytime somebody maybe is too busy or doing too much, and you're just like, what's going on over there, man?
Right.
You need to slow down. They're like, I'm changing lives, man. So
Right.
it keeps all of us going.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think I love to hear the why behind it.
Yeah.
Just another typical situation of an outsider who was working with dentists and who understood that.
Yeah.
And you saw that in some form or fashion. I'm sure, having a dentistry family. So what's your perspective?
Well, it's when I saw what DentalIntelligence was doing, I got super jazzed and excited, not because I saw what I could do as a salesman, but what I saw it would do for the industry and for the practices.
Right.
My dad graduated in 1980 from Northwestern, and he moved out to Green River, Wyoming, and he has a great practice. But he tracks his growth literally based on how much money he has in the bank account.
Right.
You know, how many patients did you have? Oh, I had X number of new patients. And he thinks it's a good month, and it is. He's
Sure.
got a great practice.
Sure.
But I mean, Dental Intelligence, honestly, it's the number one company helping you understand what's happening in your practice and gives you all of the tools you need to grow.
Yep.
From not just the doctor seeing what's happening in the practice, but what I got jazzed about was the office manager.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Yeah.
the fact that they can say, oh, who do I need to call? The doctor's appointment's empty this afternoon. It fell apart tomorrow, whatever.
Right.
Oh, I'm going to drill this down, and I've got a list of 20 people that I can call that were presented treatment within the last couple of weeks that haven't
Right.
accepted. Like,
Right.
things like into that, it gets me excited.
Sure.
And then I get excited too, just because
Just
I'm
yeah.
a sales guy. I can get excited about a lot of stuff.
Of course, yeah, it's good. Well, how cool is it that so much of this education, like you mentioned, the office manager.
Yeah.
And for years, not only, like you said, JT, were the dentists not maybe themselves not looking at it, but now with all this education and a tool and a resource like this, now both the office manager and the dentist and the hygienist and everybody,
and the
so
assistants.
everybody's coming along kind of at the same time, right? So I mean, I
Yeah.
think when you make that comment about them being excited about it, it's almost like at first you could think the dentist gets overwhelmed with the data, but then all of a sudden they realize, hey, I'm not the only one that has to worry about utilizing this, right? This is also a tool for everybody in my practice.
Yeah.
It's exactly right. We say all the time when we talk to doctors, the best thing about Dental Intelligence is it gets everyone in the practice, from the doctor down to the person at the front desk, all on the same page.
Right.
They can see what's happening, what everyone's doing. No longer does the doctor only have a schedule, but the front desk has a schedule.
Sure.
The office manager has a schedule, financial planner, whoever. Everyone has a schedule. Everyone has
Yeah.
something to do to contribute
Yeah.
to production, not only the producers of the work.
Yeah.
So it's really cool.
Absolutely. So I want to drill down into, I mean, I know there's a lot of different variables and things that you guys look at, but I wanted to talk about one in particular from my own personal experience. I had the opportunity for about 3 years, I worked for Mortensen Family Dental, Louisville, Kentucky. And how it all started was I wanted to work with them in the dental practices, and they said, go out in the practices and see where the holes are, see where the gaps, see where we can grow. Well, I just started to dig into the practice management software and looked at the unscheduled treatment, right? So I figured you guys would smile with that, right? So,
How easy was that?
well, it was easy, but it was very interesting because it was like to look into that and to say, holy cow, there's all this focus on new patients, which I get it, okay? But not one practice, not 3 practices, not 12 practices, but all the practices that I went into when I went back 6 months, there was millions of dollars of unscheduled dentistry
absolutely.
that was out there. That, to your point, it's not that the team didn't want to not get that done.
Right.
It was just kind of the inner workings, as you guys know, of a dental practice. So
absolutely.
you guys have an element of your platform that looks at that.
Well, the inner workings of that, it's hard. I think Sam asked you how easy was that, and you said, well, you knew where to go probably in order to do that, because dentists pull reports and they can go in their practice management software so deep and they can pull a report, but once a report is pulled, I mean, it's already passed.
Sure.
Right? So
yes.
what Dental Intelligence does is it's a click of a button, and it's always real-time data analytics for them. They always know where they are. They don't have to go and pull a report. They don't have to go back and spend hours, or have their assistant spend hours, office manager hours doing this. Sam said they schedule follow-ups, and so the office manager knows what they're always supposed to be doing by just giving a list of people to call that are not just maybe just hygiene appointments, for 145, 150 bucks, whether it's somebody that maybe needs an implant done, and it brings the better dentistry, or the more complete dentistry that needs to be completed
Right.
to the surface.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, when you work with a practice, and we'll just use unscheduled treatment, or really one of those pieces that you talk to practices about. What is some of the feedback that you hear when that light is shined on it for some of the practices, and they're like, holy cow? I think they know it intuitively, right? It's like one of those things that you just...
So I'll tell you specifically about a practice that signed up with us just at the beginning of February. When I hopped on the call with them, the first time, they're out of Baltimore, and 2 doctors and an owner who doesn't practice in that practice. She works at another practice, but she literally said to me, I can't afford to keep our lights on. How can I afford dental intelligence,
Right.
which is such a minimal cost?
Right.
And I said, let's look. And we looked at her unscheduled treatment, and in January, just the month before, they had $80,000 of unaccepted but diagnosed treatment just in January. And she said, okay, well, what do we do there? And I said, we're going to make a list. They're going to pop in. They're going to call. And that's all we focused on. I turned on the appointment reminders. To this date, they haven't gone through, no, they went through one training. We have 6 trainings, but they've been through one training. But I turned on the follow-ups and told the team, okay, every day, start calling in. In 2 months, they've already scheduled $40,000 of treatment that walked out the door.
Right.
They walked out the door. They want to get the treatment done, but the team's already busy. They already have their plates full. People are calling. They're walking up to the front desk. They're diagnosing other treatment. So yeah, it's really just a matter of giving somebody a tool to succeed.
Right.
So,
So getting anybody to change is hard, right? So you just shared a success story that I think is great. JT, have you seen a couple situations where, you guys were working in the practice or what have you, and they just couldn't get over that hump? And I'm just curious, like, what was their reasoning? Because it's yeah.
So Sam may have more examples of that than I would.
Yeah.
I work mainly with our key opinion leaders and the
Gotcha.
educators, and so I see a lot of these come into as testimonials, and people having a really difficult time grasping the concept of, you're going to make me change after all this time. So
right.
Sam, do you have
I do. So I have another example.
I knew you would.
Yeah.
So there's a doctor, and man, I cannot remember the doctor's name, but he posted on our Facebook page. It's in a private group, but if you call me, and I'll send you it.
Gotcha.
But
Gotcha.
essentially, he
Call
has,
Sam.
Call me. He had 2 practices in it, and he was replying to a question from a doctor that just signed up, who was asking, how do I get my team on board? And this doctor said, well, I have 2 practices. In one practice, they did the follow-ups, and they scheduled in 1 quarter over $100,000 worth of treatment. And the other office didn't have time, and he put it in quotation marks, didn't have time to do the follow-up systems, right? They were pushing against the pricks, basically, right?
Sure.
And they scheduled like $4,000 of
Yeah.
unscheduled treatment. The proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to getting somebody on board, we always have people that
Sure.
push against it. The number one thing I think, and Weston, our CEO, is all about it, and really everyone at Dental Intelligence, we say all the time, you cannot use data as a weapon. You
Right.
have to use it for growth.
Sure.
And we're very positive when we talk to offices to the fact where if we hear that an office wants to use dental intelligence as a weapon, we won't let them.
Sure.
We won't take their money. We'll shut them out.
Right.
You know, it's a tool for growth. That's what we're about. So we just try and inspire, and help grow.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because I remember working with the teams in regards to goals and things like that, and you guys probably have seen this, is that numbers and production for a lot of the clinical team, they don't know, it's not always the easiest thing. I literally had hygienists say to me, I don't want to come in this practice and worry about thinking about money when I'm working inside of a patient's mouth, which, I get that. That's
For
not
sure.
why they got into this industry, what have you. but when it got flipped around to the situation of, did you get here to help people and get their dentistry done? And that little reframing and that change, had an impact.
Yeah.
But I mean, but it's encouraging to see that it seems like more and more practices, as you guys are saying, are embracing it. They're embracing the value. And certainly, if that practice, scheduled that much dentistry and even did 10% of that, or 15% of that. I mean, that may be a bonus program for the whole team, or they may be able to get a piece of equipment.
Absolutely.
Right? It's those little things like growth that
Yeah.
you talked about that's exciting. So
Yeah.
And really, almost we could say that so many of them come to mind that it's almost every single practice that we implement this in
Sure.
is very similar to the same story.
Yeah.
So it's not in their practice management software. They just can't see the areas of opportunity that are available to them. So on almost, am I wrong in saying that? I think that almost all of them, there's a proof that backs up what we're talking about.
Yeah, if an office is trying to grow, I can guarantee you that we have, in a certain area, if office is trying to grow in an area, there is somebody using Dental Intel that has improved dramatically in that part.
sure.
And we can show them that data.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah, because there's so. I mean, let's call it like it is, guys. I mean, there's so much low-hanging fruit in dentistry, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the thing. I
Oh.
think that we've been very fortunate for many years in dentistry that the patients or the customers came to the dental practice, right? Because
Right.
they had a need and they needed something done.
Yep.
And so what a good spot to be in for
Yeah.
30, 40, 50 years to be like, like you said, like your dad. It's like, oh, I got all these patients. And
Yeah.
it's almost like they didn't have to be like a startup company like you guys were, where you had to build, customer by customer by customer. It's just different, so it changes the way that they've had to look at it. So there's a lot of low-hanging fruit. I would imagine any variable that you pull is helpful.
Yeah, there definitely is. I mean, there's that. We use a couple quotes in our company. I mean, the one from we're Mormons, right?
Sure.
And the president of our church has a quote that when performance is measured, performance increases.
Sure.
And that's true in the aspect of almost everything,
Yeah.
right? So that's kind of something to go by. When
Absolutely.
you don't know where you are in your practice, or you don't know where you are in your goals, or you don't know where you are in anywhere
Sure.
in your life, how are you going to get there?
Yeah.
Unless you have a path or a way or something.
Absolutely.
To do that. And so
Yeah.
so it's pretty awesome to.
So is there anything that you guys have up your sleeve that you're excited about? Other than maybe just the fact that, the growth is exploding, and but anything that you can share that you're seeing, maybe even I'll ask a different way, just some of the newer like the practice that you're working with, where there's some ahas going on, like, oh, we decided to get Dental Intelligence because we wanted to look at this, and then we didn't even realize that we had this aspect of it, and it totally changed our practice.
What I'm seeing on the phone when I talk to practices for the first time, because I'm pretty much at the front lines when people are wanting to look at Dental Intel or Dental Intelligence. What I see is they're excited about the call logs,
Right.
because finally they know who to call.
Right.
And we have a sweet, phenomenal morning huddle.
Yeah.
It's designed to get in and get out within 15 minutes and to build upon yesterday's strengths,
Right.
successes, what's happening today, where are the opportunities, and we point them out. The team can log in, they can pull up an iPad, a phone, or on their desktops and see exactly what are the opportunities today and what are the opportunities tomorrow, where are the holes,
Right.
and what can we do to fix it. It's totally different than looking in your practice management software and seeing a hole and knowing you need to fill it and having 6 months worth of undiagnosed
Absolutely.
treatment.
Yeah.
But to say, okay, and this is how we're going to fill it.
Yeah.
It's a game changer.
Yeah.
And maybe that is thrown around way too much, but legitimately, it's a game changer.
Yeah, absolutely. So, any promotions or specials that you guys would like to share here on the Digital Trade Show?
You know what? We do have a special and a promotion for the Digital Trade Show members, listeners. If you go to get.dentalintel.com/John,
All right.
there is a special promotion on there that is for this show, and we almost want to encourage people to just go to that page because it kind of explains the promotion itself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's huge.
So-
I'm gonna.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
keep cutting you off. I'm
Go
sorry.
Sam's excited.
I
JT.
know,
He's
I
like,
am.
are you going
I
to say it?
am.
I want to say it.
Exactly.
We're gonna because of our relationship with you and because
Yeah.
we're on here, we're gonna waive your training fee. And there's some other promotions as well.
Cool.
So go on there, check it out. get.dentalintel.com/John.
Right.
All right.
I mean, it's
Okay.
sweet.
Yeah, and yeah, go there. There's a couple things there for you, but check it out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Know your numbers and go there.
Right. I love it. So how else can people learn about you guys and how to, sign up and all that stuff, or just get information and learn about the company?
Yeah, number one, go to that site. We're on YouTube.
Sure.
We're on Facebook. I mean, we are around.
Yeah.
You can go to DentalIntel.com. I mean, that's our normal site, but
Yeah. Yeah.
go to the other one. That's the better place.
Awesome.
That's where it's at.
Awesome.
But yeah, I mean, we do podcasts. We've got Curtis Marshall, who does the Naked Dentist podcast.
Yep.
He's with us there. We do lots of webinars. We have lots of speakers. If you go to almost any event, you're going to probably see us there. If you go into lots of the speakers, they're going to probably be talking about us. Dental Intel is definitely growing.
Sure.
And I mean, there's a lot of room for growth
Yep.
out there in the industry, and there's once people start seeing knowing their numbers and knowing where they always can be,
Sure.
it definitely they know that they don't ever want to not know their numbers again.
Sure. Exactly.
Check out our Google ads. Like, they're awesome.
Yeah.
And ask your friends. Ask your dental friends if they've heard about Dental Intel. Chances are, one of them is using us.
Sure.
And if they're using it, not just paying for it, if they're using it, they're loving it.
Right. Yeah, that's true. I love it.
Absolutely.
How about some fun questions?
Absolutely.
I mean, this has
Let's
been
do it.
fun, but I mean, like,
No,
we
let's
could
do
take it to
some-
the next level, right? I mean, I think we
Yes,
can.
yes.
Let's go
I mean,
next level.
JT's
here.
been
I'm
waiting.
more next level style, so we're ready.
So, all right, JT. So, if there was a song that best described dental intelligence, what would it be?
I'm going thunderstruck on that one.
Naturally.
Just
It's pulling out the AC/DC.
when doctors think they know what their numbers are, because they'll say that they all think that what their reappointment percentage is and what they don't know.
Yeah.
When we actually show them their actual numbers, they're usually probably 40-50% off, I'd say.
And he's a music guy. He's in a band.
Yeah.
He knows music.
Yeah.
He's down.
Yeah.
Good. So
I'm thinking thunderstruck, but
So that question was too easy then. I mean, you were
I
on
think
it.
so.
He was on it. All right, Sam. I got it. We'll come to you, and then we'll come back around to JT. I got it.
if it was a movie, I'm not trying to cut you off, but
Yeah.
what would we be if we were a movie?
I mean, definitely what? Ricky Bobby story?
Yeah. We'd be Talladega Nights.
Talladega
probably.
So
Nights.
I have a movie question actually for Sam, so that was good.
Come,
Which
bring it on.
was Sam,
I'm a movie guy.
if there was somebody that was going to play you, if there was an actor that could play you, who would you want to play you?
Well, my name is Sam West. There is a British actor named Sam West who's really good.
Okay.
So I really like him. And then I also really enjoy Chris Pratt,
All right.
mostly because he was lovable on Parks and Rec, and now he's a superstar.
Yep.
And
So that would be cool.
yeah, you're talking my language though.
Okay. All right. So, I can
Movies.
see it's
That's
too
where we're at.
easy.
He's a movie guy.
It's too easy. All right, GT. So let me think here. What did you want to be when you were a kid? What did you want to be when you grew up?
So I wanted to be a pilot.
All right.
I remember growing up. I wanted to. I mean, I bought all the books. I had all the
Sure.
magazines. I had everything. It was pilot. But then I realized you had to really. Well, in my mind at the time, you really had to work hard. You had to go through the Air Force or whatever it was. And
Right.
I was like, I don't think I want to do that. So
Yeah.
that's what I wanted to be, and I really wanted to be a rock star. Those were my two things.
Okay.
Man, I created some bands. We had everything going for us. It was good. We did it all, man. I was a singer, songwriter guy, and realized it was really, really hard to make it in that industry too.
Right.
So
So you went You went commercial real estate
So
finance?
I went financial. Yeah, I went.
That's
to,
much easier.
Oh my
I got
gosh.
you.
it was-
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
doing more of a normal job.
Well, I have an idea because you're kind of an entrepreneur, right? Maybe you guys could create like numbers for musicians, right? Like if you're starting your own band and like you need someone to help you manage all of that. Just a thought.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know. We'll throw it out there, Sam.
Yeah,
See what it is,
we'll
right?
talk to
Yeah, I
Tim
mean, you guys
Burlake.
are busy
We'll see what
enough.
we
It's
can
not like
do.
you don't have enough
No.
going on, but all right, Sam. What is the best birthday gift you have ever received?
Okay, so I might tear up because I cry at everything. Again, theater, degree in theater.
We're gonna get some drama on the podcast. I love it.
So growing up, I'll keep this as short as possible. Growing up, there's a bakery in Salt Lake called Backer's Bakery. Not getting paid for that. And they're closed in the month of July.
Right.
Every single one of my brothers and sisters got a Backer's birthday cake my whole life,
Right.
except me, because my birthday's in July. Until I met my now wife, and I offhandedly mentioned it to her, and I don't know why my parents didn't think about it, but it's not because they are neglectful. They're fantastic parents. But my wife bought a Backer's cake and froze it, and then gave it to me on my
Sweet.
birthday.
Oh my God.
That's
And
good.
So I mean, I went 30 years without a Backer's cake, and then I had a Backer's cake, and now I can die happy.
You have a thoughtful wife.
And now
Well, I was going to say,
she does it every year now.
I
so.
was hoping that he would mention that it was a gift
Yeah.
he got from his wife,
Yeah.
and it was,
It
and it
was,
was an authentic, natural story.
Absolutely.
So that was great. Well, guys, it's been awesome.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
been a true pleasure. I'm excited about what you guys are doing and about learning more. And again, thanks for the offer to all the members to go check that out and take advantage of that, which is a great deal. And again, excited to see where you go and where this thing's going to take off.
Yeah.
So
Hey, thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much.
yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. Thanks for coming on the podcast.
Appreciate it.
All right. Have a great
All right,
day.
Thanks.